Welcome to episode 17 of You Don't Know Anything About Women. I'm your host, Roy Calvin, here to give you the dating advice that Reddit doesn't want you to hear. Let's get into the first post. I can talk to girls online, but I freeze in real life. How do I fix this? I'm 22 and I've never had a girlfriend or even been on a date. On social media, I talk to girls pretty well. Some have even told me that I'm good at communicating and easy to talk to. But when it comes to real life, I just shut down. I get nervous, overthink everything, and avoid situations where I might have to approach someone face to face. During college, I liked girls and tried to approach, but the experiences went really badly. Since then, my insecurity only got worse. I carried that fear with me the whole time, and now it feels like I missed my entire college experience because of this. I don't want to stay stuck like this anymore, but I don't know how to get past it. How do you rebuild confidence after bad experiences? How do you stop being scared of rejection before it even happens? This is not that complicated, and my answer probably isn't going to surprise you. You just got to practice more, man. You got to get rejected more. Some really good advice that's really simple that was given to me when I started approaching girls and stuff is just that you got to give yourself permission to fail, give yourself permission to suck. Not that you want to go up to a girl already thinking I'm going to fuck up and she's going to hate me, but just realize that, okay, if that happens, like, that's okay. What have I gained or lost from that experience? Yes, it might hurt your feelings for a couple of seconds, but whatever. A few minutes later, you're still going to be the same person. Now, I know that rejection can bother some people more than others. It bothers everybody, I think, so it's normal for you to feel like that. But give yourself that permission. Like, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to talk to some girls today, and they might not like it. I might fuck up. I might say something stupid. Whatever. As you do that more, you will get more confidence. And for me, like, nobody likes rejection, you know? I'm not above feeling shitty when I get rejected over and over again. But it's like, if I get rejected by 20 girls and they just, like, brutally, girls don't really do this, but they just fucking talk shit about me, tell me that I'm fucking ugly and they hate me. If 20 girls do that, but then I talk to one and she goes out with me and she has sex with me, it's like, okay, fuck, that's great. It doesn't really bother me that the other 20 hated me. This one came home with me. That's all I want. That's great. I know that not every girl is going to like me. Not every girl is going to give me their phone number. Not every girl is even going to have a conversation with me. But if I can get to something in like 1 in 20 come home with me, wow, that's fantastic. What more can I ask for? By the way, 1 in 20 is like really fucking good. So that's a little bit aspirational for me, at least. But if you've had a few bad experiences with girls, like, being really rude and mean when you try to talk to them, I would say that that's the minority of girls. So you got to understand that failure just happens and you're going to have to accept it. But yeah, you can also realize, like, be a bit positive about it. Those are not going to be the majority of situations. You mentioned how you've tried approaching, but the experiences went really badly. I would like to know how badly, because my experience has been, yeah, most girls will not, like, come out on a date with you, probably, but most will kind of let you down easy in those situations. No one's going to be, like, just fucking insulting you to your face because you came up and talked to them. Sure, some might do that, but again, with practice, that won't bother you, and also, it's just not really going to happen that much. Girls don't really do that, from what I've experienced. And also, just another, like, kind of lame bit of advice, but it's also totally true, is that you should praise yourself for making the effort to go and talk to the girl. The praise should not come from you having success with the girl. Like, let's go up to her, let's put in a real effort, and if she doesn't like it, then, well, maybe we can change some stuff on the next approach, but you kind of did everything you could there. As opposed to, oh, okay, I put in the effort, went up and talked to the girl, but she rejected me, so fuck, I feel like shit. No, it's not like that. If you can go up and talk to a girl and put in an effort, that's more than 99% of guys are doing, so it's something to compliment yourself about. I also just want to touch on the fact that you say you feel like you missed your entire college experience because of this nervousness that you have. You're 22. When I was 22, I didn't like for people to tell me, oh, you're so young and you have, lots of years ahead of you yet. But it really is true. I wish I started doing what I'm doing when I was like 22. I wish I was approaching girls at that age, because I wasn't. I took years and years after that. But if I started when I was 22, I would have had so much more success, so much more experience. It would have been amazing. I'm disappointed that I waited as long as I did. So I know college is, like, associated with fucking girls and parties and shit, but don't worry, there's lots of ways to date beyond that. You can still date girls that are in college right now, even if you're finishing or nearly finished or whatever. That doesn't matter. So you still have access to those girls even. It's not even over. Approach. Let yourself fail. It's okay to fail. I had so many failures. I've banged so many girls, but I've had way more rejections than I've had girls in my bed with me. That's just how it works. All right, let's get into the next post for this episode. It's a really long one, so I'm going to cut it down to the main details for you. Is it considered cheating if my girlfriend talks to another guy online? I'm 31 and have been dating my girlfriend who's 30 for nearly 5 years. We've been living together for the past 4 years. Our relationship is good. We hardly ever have any arguments and we're both calm people. I previously asked 2 to 3 years ago if she would ever want to open a relationship or a threesome. She said she doesn't want to share me and wouldn't want me seeing other people. I believe that's still the case, but really can't figure out why she would talk to someone else behind my back. Seeing that she's been through being cheated on in the past, I wouldn't expect her to cheat as she knows how it feels to be cheated on. Yesterday, she went in the shower. I usually go through her phone from time to time, but today I saw she had a messaging app open called Kakao Talk and had one chat open with one guy. He looked like he was from South Korea, and as I looked it up, that's where the app is based from. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the chat. The past few weeks, she has been hiding her phone screen from me quite often, more than usual. I didn't think much of it at first, as normally she talks to her mom every day. I felt jealous and shocked that she would do this. I skimmed through the chat. I saw her telling him about her day, how she loves him, and how she adores the cute paragraphs he writes for her, complimenting her and wishing that they could be cuddling together. She even at one point said she wishes he could just slip it inside with ease. Me and her are in the process of moving houses the past 4 weeks, and she's been texting him even when she's with me. She tells him about her day, how she's feeling, and even sent him a photo of our new house and her car. So she's currently emotionally cheating on me. I really don't understand how talking to someone for just over a month can end up loving each other. The one reason I can think of is I know she's obsessed with BTS and Asian people and likes them with long hair. She's told me many times she would like to see my hair long covering my ears, but I always cut it short as I prefer it. She's hinted before it would turn her on more. Also, we've been having a dead bedroom for the past 2 years. When I ask why we don't do it, she says she's not in the mood. Now I'm starting to think she's just so used to me and maybe not attracted to me. But now that I know she's been speaking to this guy for the past month, we've actually had sex 5 times in the past month. Usually it's once every 1 to 2 months, so I feel it might be because she's excited with talking to this guy, which isn't good. What is the best way to deal with this as it's the first time it's ever happened? I feel so hurt. I wanted to wait a few more days and see more of their chat, but it's becoming hard to manage and take it. I really don't know how I'm going to manage as we've just finished moving houses, rented, with a 12-month rolling tenancy. If we break up, it's going to be so complicated. This is a terrible situation that you've gotten yourself into. I mean, it's her fault. She's done it, but it concerns me that you're coming to Reddit for advice when your girl is cheating on you terribly. Of course, I'm going to give you my advice here, but man, this needs to end. How can you go on like this? Even besides all the cheating, just the fact that at the end you casually throw in you've been having a dead bedroom for the past 2 years, that alone is enough to end the relationship. I thought it meant like 2 years with completely no sex, but you clarified that it's once every 1 to 2 months. But now, yeah, in the past month, you've done it 5 times. And I agree with your suspicions. She's excited because she's talking to this guy. Absolutely. It's turning her on again, so she can have sex with you, and she's probably imagining it's him. But just the fact that you have a dead bedroom, that I can't imagine. You're like moving into a place together. I know you've already lived together for a few years, but why are you making these plans that are going to keep you together for even longer when you're not even having regular sex? What is the point of having a girlfriend if not for regular sex? Also, I want to go back to like the first or second sentence in the post. You say, our relationship is good. We hardly ever have any arguments. This is not a good relationship. You don't bang. Yes, you can still have aspects of the relationship that are good, but if you're not banging, man, this is not a good relationship. It's not as good as you think it is, that's for sure. I haven't even gotten into the actual cheating very much, but yes, she is cheating. People in the comments are saying, oh, it depends on what your definition of cheating is. Well, this is my podcast, and this has definitely surpassed my definition of cheating. She's cheating. You could maybe give some benefit of the doubt if they're just innocently chatting, but she said she wants him to slip it in. What more of a signal do you want, man? I feel very bad for you that you're letting this continue to happen. I will address the Asian thing here. This is not just about race. It can be about anything where two people are just not compatible. Like a lot of people will just be with someone because they're there and it's convenient and it's a pain in the ass to break up. And that's kind of what's going on here. To me, you guys are just not compatible. It seems like she has a preference for Asian guys. That's fine. She's free to have a preference of whatever kind of guy she wants. But you're just there and you're not Asian, but you're comfortable and okay, you don't live in a place with a bunch of Asian guys that she can go and date. I'm just making that assumption here. So yeah, I'll stay with him, but I really want an Asian guy. That's what it seems like is happening here, and she's trying to like kind of make fashion suggestions to you to turn you into one, perhaps, or into a famous one like BTS, the Korean idol group. There's people in the comments talking about a confrontation, and you got to communicate with her and whatever. Confrontation, yes, but also like there's nothing to talk about here in my mind. This relationship is done. You got to find some plan to leave. You just signed your fucking lease or whatever for 12 months. Whatever, you got to figure it out. It's over. Oh, one more thing. I don't really agree with the whole practice of looking in your girlfriend's phone. And of course, I don't agree with the practice of a girlfriend looking in a guy's phone either. But in these situations, it's like, well, fuck, of course, it's good that you did. And you say that you're shocked, but I don't know. Maybe if it was me or somebody else in that situation, there have been a lot of warning signs that you have just ignored, maybe. And maybe there was so much evidence that it would have been worth going through her phone. But yeah, I just find it strange to go through her phone regularly just for the hell of it. But again, it worked out this time. It's a good thing that you did. So I don't know. I have an internal struggle with that, I guess. But man, it's over. Break up. Figure all this shit out. Let her go and fucking send her messages to this guy. It's over. I feel really bad for you. This is a tough one. 5 years. It's just going to end. But yeah, it has to end. You got to move on here. This is not going to fucking work out. Okay, let's go on to the next post for this episode. Dating identical twin. Just recently started dating an identical twin and wanted to know if people have advice given their close relationship. I actually had met both of them separately at a friend's party, and it wasn't until we started to all hang out that I realized just how close they are. On her own, she's great, but definitely different around her sister. They are super competitive with each other about everything and are constantly bickering, but at the same time they live together and work together and already admitted they're codependent. I'm realizing it's a pretty unique relationship dynamic that they have, and I'm fine with it, just wondering if anyone else has experience with this. The main difference I'm not used to is that they like doing everything together and don't like being alone. And then a couple of times they'll get into these really heated fights and then act like nothing happened a few minutes later. It's a lot to take in. I have siblings, but it's definitely way more intense than I'm used to. I actually do not have experience with dating an identical twin, but I think what you describe here is pretty par for the course. I mean, twins are kind of like inseparable, and they do everything together. Again, I'm not speaking from a place of experience on this one. This is just what I've heard. Like, I think everybody knows this. This also reminds me of something I touched on in the last post, where like people will just be together just out of convenience, not because it's necessarily a good idea. Like you say, they fight all the time. They have huge heated fights, but still they live together and work together. Like, why? It doesn't sound like a great idea. It sounds like it would be better if they just lived separately. But the bit of advice that I do have when it comes to, your girlfriend's family and siblings or whatever, is that you just kind of got to let all that go and let them fucking fight and whatever. That's my opinion anyway. Like, that's just how siblings are. Like, if your girlfriend's twin does something shitty to her, says something shitty to her, you just got to kind of be like, okay, well, whatever. I'm not involved. This is your fucking thing. Yeah, okay. It sucks that she did that. Okay, yeah, she's a bitch today. But just let them do their thing, and I would recommend not holding any kind of grudge against like the other twin either. Just recognize the fact that this is what happens with siblings. They have shitty fights sometimes. Well, not all siblings, but yeah, these two definitely sounds like they're guilty of that. You just gotta let it go and not get involved. Now, I mentioned many times on this podcast before that a lot of guys, like, they break up with girls too quick because they're thinking about future stuff and not really even giving themselves a chance to get to know the girl or give her a fair shot. So don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying to, like, break up with this girl or anything. But I do wonder, like, in the future, if you keep dating and then you live together, like, is the other twin going to want to keep living with her sister? Like, is that something that could happen? Because it sounds like they're inseparable. And that's kind of what I expect twins to be like. Is it going to be like, okay, you want to live with your girlfriend now? Okay, well, it's a package deal. You got to live with two of them. That would not be cool with me. You also mentioned that they get into really heated fights and then act like nothing happened a few minutes later. Yeah, I think that's a total sibling thing to do. And that's good. Like, it would be worse if they just hold this grudge for days or weeks, right? It's good that they just have a shitty fight and act like nothing happens a few minutes later. And again, just do not get involved. This is a great example of it. You can just let them have their fight and everything will be okay a few minutes later. So that's like the ideal situation. Just let them do it. Give them their space. Don't get involved in this family stuff. Also, if it were me, I would just try to not hang around both of them at the same time. but I understand how that's going to kind of be difficult, especially since they live together. Hopefully, you have your own place where she can come over and hang out with you. Moving on to post number 4 for this episode. How do I actually meet and approach nerdier girls in real life or online for long-term dating? I'm in a small town in Indiana, about an hour from Cincinnati and Indianapolis. I'm only interested in something long-term with someone who has similar values and experience, and at least a couple similar hobbies. Think more nerdy, introverted, has passions, wants a real relationship than casual or hookup stuff. I don't really struggle with talking to people or making friends. The issues are when dating is involved. Approaching someone I'm attracted to, or asking for a number, especially in public. I've had a few waitresses and random girls be friendly or keep talking to me even after I've paid, but I've never had the nerve to turn that into, hey, can I get your number? It's not that I think I'd be creepy, it's just anxiety, to be honest. Dating apps are basically tapped out for me. I've had some decent matches, but nothing that really felt aligned, and I'm not interested in good enough just to be in a relationship. I know what I want in a relationship, and I'm not the type to settle just to say I'm dating someone. So, I'm trying to figure out a better approach. Here's the advice I'm looking for. Where should I be going, in my small town or in one of the big cities nearby, to meet more nerdy and like-minded women in real life? If you're a woman like what I'm looking for, where do you actually spend time to meet people? Any simple ways to approach someone in public, store, coffee shop, waitress, etc., that don't feel weird or forced? For those who used to have approach anxiety, what helped you get past it? I know the worst they can say is no, but in the moment I freeze up and don't know what to say that doesn't feel like I'm obviously only there to hit on them. I think your mindset towards this is completely wrong in a couple of different ways, and these are ways that nobody in the comments has brought up. Just to jump ahead a bit here, someone in the comments mentioned an anime-themed bar in one of the nearby cities to this guy, and he said that he went and checked it out, but it was like all dudes, quote, which like, yeah, of course it is. So like in my mind, if I want to find a girl like that, I'm not even going to go to a place that has a lot of them in one place, which may sound counterintuitive, but also in the comments, there's people saying like, gaming conventions or board game meetups and stuff like that. That's all fine if that's something that's fun for you and you just want to go to them. And yeah, like maybe some miracle will happen where you do meet a girl there and you date her or whatever. But at those type of events, I feel like there's too much competition. Like I've mentioned in a previous episode, I like to go to places where I can just talk to a girl like uninterrupted and there's no other guys really vying for her attention. So I wouldn't want to go to a board game meetup with a mindset of, okay, I'm going to go here just so I can try to meet some girls who like the same things as me. I think that's going to lead to a lot of disappointment, honestly. And something like a gaming convention, like that's not something I can go to every weekend to try to meet a girl. Maybe I don't know, but I'm assuming those events maybe come around like a couple times a year. Luckily, you have 2 kind of big cities nearby, so that is an option. But like, I want a girl right now. I'm not going to wait for the next convention to roll into town. Also, I feel like pretty much any somewhat attractive girl at an event like that is going to be getting just a ton of attention. And again, I'm not about like trying to compete on that level. Just whatever, let all the guys at that event try to talk to these girls. I'm going to go find some girl who's just walking around on the street and I'll talk to her one-on-one. So yeah, he did ask in his post specifically, where do these girls spend their time? But those are my thoughts about it. Like, don't even think about where they spend their time. Because there's also people saying, like, gaming in a hobby shop. Like, what? Am I just supposed to hang out in, like, a fucking Pokemon card shop all day and hope that a girl comes in who I can talk to? That's not a good strategy for me. But you also mentioned that you would like some ways to approach someone in public, like at a store, or coffee shop, or whatever. So that's good. It's good that you are not limiting yourself to the places that you think nerdy girls are hanging out. So I want to encourage that thought that you're having of how can I approach them? Because yeah, these 2 cities that you live nearby, those are definitely big enough where you can just find some malls to go to in there and give yourself the goal to approach 1 or 2 girls in a mall and you'll probably get a number. As for how to approach them, don't think too hard about it. Just try to avoid the basic questions that everybody asks early on in the conversation, like where are you from? What's your name? What's your job? Stuff like that. Try to not say those things. I find it easiest if you can comment on something that they're wearing, even if it's just something as simple as like, oh, I like your shoes. That'll get it going. Just try to keep talking from there. Like the top voted comment in here is saying like, oh, if someone's wearing a cool band shirt, then just comment on that. Like, of course, that's a good thing to do, but how many girls are just walking around wearing a cool band shirt? Like, it's not realistic advice to me. You got to be able to comment on something as boring as like shoes or something, or if they have like a nice ring on, just anything like that. That will get your foot in the door. As for not feeling weird or forced, it's probably going to feel like that as you're new to this, but as you approach more and more, it won't feel weird or forced. You'll just get accustomed to it and it will be normal for you. You also asked people who have approach anxiety what helped you get past it. Yeah, it's advice I gave earlier in this episode. Just give yourself permission to fail and understand that, like, yeah, you're new to this and you might fuck up. Like, it's not a big deal. If you fuck up one approach, there's lots more girls to approach in these two big cities. Don't worry about it. Now, another thing I want to bring up, this is maybe more important than everything else I've said up until this point. You're saying that you want someone who has similar passions and hobbies. That's fine and all, but in my experience, like, I will date girls and I just invite them to go and do the things that I want to do. And basically, no girls have ever said no to me. I like some video games too. And, I like going to play mini golf. I like going to batting cages, stuff like that. Every girl I've dated will say yes to those things. So I think it's really important that you keep in mind, like, you don't need to find a girl who actually has this as a hobby. I mean, maybe it is that strict for you. Like, she needs to be like actively involved in playing video games and stuff. I would still advise against having that kind of mindset. But like, if you want to play video games, you can find a girl who's just not a nerd and she will still come play video games with you. You got to play kind of an easy game. She's probably not going to be playing like, I don't know, Battlefield or Call of Duty with you. But like something simple like on Nintendo Switch, like most girls are going to have no problem doing that at all. So take that approach to dating. You meet a girl, you invite her out. Maybe the first date is just like, coffee or maybe a meal, depending on your budget. And then the second one is like, hey, there's this gaming bar that I want to go to. Let's go and play some games there together. 99% of girls are going to come do that with you. It doesn't need to be a passionate hobby of theirs. So remember that if you're out somewhere and you're looking for a girl to go approach, do it based on how they look. Of course, before you go talk to them, that's the only bit of information that you have, right? Like, you don't know anything about her personality or anything. We can only go based on how she looks. So you can talk to her, find out a little bit more about her. You can kind of slip in some questions there and see if she's into gaming or anything. But again, don't worry about it. She'll come and do the fun things that you want to do. And when you're in these conversations, make sure you ask, hey, can I get your number? Because you said that you have a problem with asking that. It gives you anxiety. Practice makes perfect, man. Start asking, start getting rejected, start getting some numbers. It'll become easier and easier. You're going to find a girl that will come and play video games with you. It's going to happen. Okay, let's go into our final post for this episode. I don't know how to break it to this woman I'm seeing that I'm unemployed. What do I do? I've been seeing this woman for about 7 weeks. Unfortunately, I got laid off about 2 weeks ago and I'm freaking out over the possibility of losing her over being jobless. I literally applied at 10 to 20 jobs a day in my field, but nothing has presented itself to me. This stupid job market might cost me someone I truly connect with, and I worry she'll want to bail on me. To me, it seems like you're really freaking out over nothing. I mean, has she said before, like, oh, if you didn't have a job, I would not date you? Like, it seems like you're making up a lot of stories in your head. You think that just because you became unemployed, she's going to leave you over that? Is that something that people do? First of all, if she does that, she's just a shit quality woman anyway, so it would be a favor to you that she leaves. It would be good. Losing your job sucks, of course, but I don't think she's going to leave you over that unless I'm missing something here. Like, I wish I had some more details, but she's just a normal woman. She probably understands. Shit happens sometimes and you just get laid off. It's a bit strange on your part that, okay, you've been going out for 7 weeks and 2 weeks ago you got laid off, but you haven't told her yet? Like, why? Again, you're just overthinking it, in my opinion. 2 weeks is a bit long to go without telling her, so if it was me, I would just say, like, hey, I lost my job like 3 days ago, the next time you see her or whatever. Now, of course, I do understand that, in general, if you're seriously dating a girl in her late 20s, yeah, of course, everybody likes someone with a stable job, stable income, who they can see themselves being with. Not that every woman wants to be a housewife or anything, but yeah, I think they're definitely thinking about these kind of things at that age. Like, I want to have a family, so can this guy actually support me? But again, she would be unbelievably shallow if she just breaks up with you as soon as you lose your job. Keep applying for jobs, keep showing that you're making effort and that you actually want to work. You're not just going to be unemployed forever. I don't think you have much to worry about. Also, just want to get into the comments here a little bit. There's one comment here from a woman who doesn't inherently say anything wrong, but she's talking about how she got fired the day before her first date with her current boyfriend, and she was communicative about it. She didn't have a job for the first 2 to 3 months of their relationship. Her boyfriend says that she handled the situation well. And then there's a surprisingly upvoted comment that says, it's different for women. And then, of course, one of the next replies is, how are you assuming that women are looking for someone to spend money on them? Just absolute Reddit ridiculousness. Of course, they just jump to that right away. Again, man, don't worry about becoming unemployed. I think you're going to be okay. But yeah, it's not that women are looking for someone to spend money on them, but everybody likes somebody who's stable, you know? So you can get back to that point. Don't worry about it. Keep looking for your job. Don't think your girl's going to leave you. And if she does, she was never worth having anyway. Okay, that's it for this episode of You Don't Know Anything About Women. Make sure you check out the link in the show notes if you want to get in touch or support the show, and I'll see you next time.